fears that members of the terrorist group ISIS might be using the border crisis to come across the Texas border.
I said that it is possible ISIS terrorists could exploit that porous border between the United States and Mexico, and quite possibly already have begun to do that.
Perry also handed out these T-shirts with his mugshot printed on them and with Rosemary Lemberg's mugshot on the back, and spoke candidly about his recent indictment, calling the charges politically motivated.
I think this is an attack on the constitutional duties of a governor. I'm going to fight this with every fiber of my being.
Earlier this week, a district judge in Austin warned that comments Perry made the day after his indictment could be taken as a threat against the grand jurors who decided the case. So how will Perry's terrorism comments and his legal troubles affect his bid for the White House? That's our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page, as well as on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. In our newsroom again is our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. All right, so you all have your T-shirts?
He didn't give me one.
He gave me one.
He never gives me any T-shirts.
You know, let's start with that, with the statement he made about ISIS, and we'll move into the other stuff. And I called out President Obama when I thought he was reckless, and so I'm going to call out the governor today. It's completely reckless for him to be claiming that ISIS members are crossing our border when not only does he not have any evidence of it, the country of Mexico and the United States government have all said there is absolutely no evidence that any member of ISIS or any other terrorist organization has crossed our border. And for him to keep saying that, and really it can be called more fear-mongering, I think, than anything else, it's completely reckless. And we'll start with you, Jackie Bally, on that. I think it's reckless.
Well, I think his statement is to make a point that the rules and laws are not being enforced. He's been begging the administration and the president to enforce the laws and to secure the border, and they haven't. So he's saying, who knows who's crossing? So I disagree with you, surprise, surprise. And to go back to Sally's initial question, do we think that his legal problems, do we think it's political? Of course. Travis County is the bluest county in our state. We both know that they've gone after Kay Bailey Hutchison, they've gone after Tom DeLay, and of course those were overturned.
Let me
and
ask you about that, because this unit in the Travis County District Attorney's Office has been there for over 30 years. They prosecuted 19 political figures. Only 5 of them have been Republican. So how can you say that that unit only targets Republicans?
I didn't say that. Let me repeat what I said. This particular case is definitely political because the governor did say, look, you're a disgrace, you have no integrity to Lemberg, and you should not be running the unit, something that a lot of us agree with. And so after he took money out of her funding, something he could legally do, then guess what? All of a sudden he's indicted.
By a special prosecutor.
And then I listed 2 other Republicans, a special prosecutor who is known to be very prominent in the Democrat Party. Well, so then I listed 2 other Republicans they've gone after, and those were overturned because they went after those particular Republicans and they had no basis for doing it.
Let's go after, well, that could be debated. We don't have time for that.
Look, it's amazing to me that, well, first, Governor Perry should be congratulated for his political acumen, right? I mean, he seems to be able to go on television, completely lie and mislead the public, and he gets away with it. This was a Republican judge who appointed, you know, a well-known Republican prosecutor who then went to a grand jury and he got the indictment. It had nothing to do with the Travis County DA. This is going to start to come out and it's going to affect the governor. 2, he has every legal right to be able to veto any legislation he wants. He also has First Amendment right to say someone's unfit to serve in office. What he doesn't have the legal right to do is to connect the veto to a threat that if you don't, threat of veto, take the money away. And then 3, he also sent somebody to sweeten the deal that if she left, that he would probably, you know, get her a job somewhere else. That is illegal, and he's going to get in trouble for this, and he's going to leave this office in disgrace.
All right, we're going to go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
Let's take a look at what some people are saying on Twitter this morning. This is Oh, well, let me get it pulled up again for you guys here. Hold on. Sometimes the technology just does not work for me. Okay, let's see if we can go back to our tweets here now. Okay, this is a tweet that's getting retweeted a lot. Too bad we don't have Governor Perry in the White House. ISIS would be decimated. Hashtag stand with Rick Perry. And then Tony is tweeting this morning, pretty Ricky can say the dumbest things at the most inappropriate times. He makes this great state look bad.
Well, at least we've got bipartisan
We
issues.
do. We have both sides of the issue.
Viewers today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about his political aspirations. He's under indictment. He's got this ISIS thing that could come back to haunt him down the line. Is he making moves today that are going to come back to hurt him?
No. And you've seen both Democrats and Republicans, even the Republican candidates or potential candidates who may be in the running for president, both sides of the aisle have said that this indictment is purely political and stupid. And so no, his indictment is definitely not going to come back to haunt him because, first of all, he's now getting more publicity than ever because a lot of people, again, across the aisle feel that this is stupid.
Unless, of course, he gets convicted.
And he won't. And his ISIS comments, he's definitely prefaced it in many, many ways. Probably could be. So people who are trying to throw it in his face and say, oh, he's saying reckless statements are people who wouldn't vote for him anyway.
Stop it.
He's the head of the Texas National Guard, and he's making statements about if there might be terrorists jumping across the border and scaring people, and it's false and it's just absurd. But getting back to his indictment, this is serious. He can talk all he wants in the public space. He can get as many Republican primary votes as he wants, but he's angering the prosecutor. And in this situation, if I was his lawyer, I would tell him to shut up because he wants to stay out of jail.
All right, and so we're going to leave it right there, but I do have to say that the T-shirt's one of the funniest things I've seen in a very long time. That was a pretty good political move, the T-shirt.
Hey, at least he's keeping a sense of humor about all of his legal problems,
It'll help
I guess.
him in jail.
Okay.
He won't be in jail.
We'll leave it right there.
All right, Jackie got the last word in.
That's right, again.